So if I may, I'd like to introduce Chuck Wisely from the California Community College Chancellor's Office with an update on the latest from our Chancellor. Welcome, Chuck.
As Carol said, I want to welcome you on behalf of the Chancellor's Office. I put in your packet, or I had Carol put in your packet, the statistics up to date through spring of last year. And I want to talk a little bit about what's on the page, because it's kind of interesting that some colleges have been growing their programs a little bit, ever so slightly, and others have dropped off. We've lost 9 colleges from spring 2009 to spring 2010 who were no longer offering real estate education courses. The largest 5 out of the top 6 stayed the same. They just shuffle places a little bit. San Francisco is one of them, with quite a large program. So I think you guys all know, I'm not going to talk much about the budget, but you all know that we have a fairly large crisis occurring, and we don't have a clue how it's going to turn out. It could be anywhere from 8% of your college's budget to 25% of your college's budget will go away next year. If you want to see how much the 5 different scenarios will impact your college, you can go to the Community College League of California, CCLC, and then look at the budget impact page. Look up your college, and it gives you the 5 different scenarios. If we get a proposition and pass the tax, if we don't, if Prop 98 is suspended, if Prop 98 is not suspended, all the different scenarios. We're hoping for the best. We've already been cutting and denying students seats in our classrooms. So if you're still teaching classes, you're some of the lucky ones, because there's a lot of folks out there who have shrunk their programs out of existence. With that, I don't really have much else unless you have questions. And Mike. They'd be 2 enrollments. Yeah, they're not students. These are enrollments. So if I took 3 classes, I got 3 enrollments. If we do unduplicated head counts, we typically will say student head count. And most of these are, all the enrollment counts, the first 2 sections are, 3 sections actually, are enrollments. Then the next are students, because we're looking at the age of the student, the ethnicity of the student. And as you can see, now I only went back to fall 2006. I keep taking a year off the bottom, but we're half. We're at half of what we were in 2006, statewide. And if you look on the back, it lists by college from 2006 to spring 2010. So you can see where your college has gone. And if you're still, like I say, if you're still offering classes, you're the lucky ones. Yes?
As you know, the tuition at California community colleges is still one of the best rates in the country compared to New York or Pennsylvania.
Right.
The governor has proposed a $10 per unit increase, probably will go through. Some kind of committee proposed doubling the...
Right. The LAO said $66.
Per unit. So my question is, will that cause more students to fizzle out or just make them all the more
Well, you know, I can't, Carnac says $39, but that's about it. I mean, I don't know where it will land, and we really won't know where it will land until we get the budget solution kind of in place. And every time we even talk about raising fees, students quit coming to us. Because they just, you know, it's I don't know. The sociologist in me says, well, it's an excuse now. I just can't do that. I can't afford to go now. You know, if they double the fee, double it from 25 to 50, you know, 26 to 39. But we will lose students. The biggest, you're going to lose students because even if you're filling your classrooms, your college will have to cut classes. They can't afford to pay the faculty. If we get a 20% budget cut, they're going to have to cut 20% of costs somehow. And we don't have enough administrators to get rid of 20% of the cost, I don't think. So it's just depending on the budget solution that occurs.
Now, this is a bad analogy, but you know, the tuition at California State University, full-time undergraduates, like $2,700 a semester. You can use that as leverage. Community college is still a bargain.
It is still a bargain. Even if it was 66, it's a lot less than Cal State for the first 2 years. It's a lot more than some of the private real estate schools, though. And that's where there might be some competition that really arises from the private sector if it goes that high. And the comment is that our courses transfer, that our courses apply to an associate degree or certificates oftentimes, which are a nice little sheepskins when you go and talk to your broker. You just got your new broker's license and your college is respected in the local area. I would say that every CTE department, though, I'm working at San Francisco College right now, City College of San Francisco, and every department feels exactly the same. We're putting people to work. Don't cut my classes. But when your college gets a 20% cut, they're going to cut some classes. They're going to cut classes. And the strategy they use will be different at every single college. When I was the regional monitor in San Diego, we had some colleges that said to the deans, the administrators said to the deans, you guys talk to the departments and you tell us what to cut, but we're going to cut. We got 10% we got to cut. That was 2 years ago. You know, so just keep telling them what you're trying to do and how you're putting people to work, because I think it'll help. Who knows? Well, and as I said to the folks in San Diego, I mean, we still need real estate agents. There are a lot of people who aren't leaving the business who would like to have left the business, but at the same time, there's a lot of opportunity out there for real estate agents. There's a lot of sales going on. They're not as big as we'd like the prices to be, but I think we'll hear that from no. We do hear from policymakers that they understand that community colleges train the workforce. But when they ask us how well we're doing, they say, how many students are you transferring? And we try to refocus their attention to the people we're getting jobs for. However, I will say, I just reviewed a paper from Nancy Shulock at the Institute for Higher Ed, who she's publishing a paper on CTE, success completions in CTE, career technical education. And it's got a whole transfer theme. And we said, well, why did you set this as the golden model? And she said, the funders made me. They sent it back and said, no, we won't fund the grant if you don't talk about transfer. So policymakers, seriously, even though they say they understand that we're training the workforce, they're still looking at how many students do we transfer. And we do need to transfer our students who can go on and spend the time at a four-year institution. I think she was ahead.
Repeat the question. It's not being picked up.
I'm sorry.
I work the transfer program so that it's the transferring students, and I found that since education is increasing across the board, that the real estate is an area where they can come in and start and get their four-year degree. And also, another advantage that I found that we have is that we still have the scholarship. We still have the scholarship program.
Yes. So the comment was real estate education in community colleges is a good place to start to prepare yourself for transfer, plus the fact that we do have extra scholarships beyond what scholarships are available to the other students on campus. Middleton.
Becoming an appraiser nowadays, part of it is for some of the licenses, it's an AA degree is one of the options, and a bachelor's, and it will probably become mandatory, right, 2015? So the degree, no, you can still do the additional coursework. Oh, yes. But it's probably going to be implemented, and I'm not necessarily agreeing that the degree's the way to go, but I think 2015, that may be a mandatory thing, even for a residential license. So they may be moving on, and I think it's time somebody realizes we shouldn't be treated as stepchildren.
Okay, so the comment from Bob was that appraisers are now required to have an AA degree, and in 2015, we think, as Bob Clark said, it will be mandatory for everyone who's an appraiser to have an AA or higher. For certain licenses.
There's talk in that direction, but that's not an absolute yet.
Yeah.
Right now, you can't do units in lieu of degrees.
So Bob Clark cleared it up that it is, you can still do units in lieu of the degree. It's not in concrete yet. They're talking about it. Sorry.
Just one comment. In terms of the people transferring, and that may apply more to other academic disciplines, but I teach at night and I teach on Saturday, and more than half of my students already have four-year degrees, and they're not happy with the jobs that those four-year degrees got them, and so they're coming back and take the real estate class.
That's really common in community colleges. I mean, we have people with four-year degrees who are taking culinary arts, so they didn't like what they would have been doing with their bachelor's degree, so they came back to it and got some kind of career technical area. The comment was, in real estate, in his classes, lots of the students already have degrees, and I think we have a large proportion of, I think there's something like 200,000 students who are reverse transfers who come to us with degrees already. So,
Wonderful.
okay.
Great. Thank you so much, Chuck. Thank you very much, Chuck.
I just want to introduce myself, Shelley Harkins. I'm the manager of education, research, and examinations with the Department of Real Estate. I've been there over 10 years in various areas, including enforcement, so watch out. On behalf of Commissioner Jeff Davey, we want to thank Carol Jensen and the Real Estate Education Center for having us today to give our annual updates. Now, in your packets, Carol has provided, in your packets that I've provided to her, 4 items. They're in various stages in your packet. Everyone's favorite DRE licensing statistics. There's a copy of DRE's new mission and vision going forward in 2011 and beyond. The new continuing education regulation amendments are in there, and the winter 2010 real estate bulletin. Now I'm going to mention our website a lot, so I want you to write it down now in case you have not visited it. It's www.dre.ca.gov. I'm going to be referencing all of the information that I'm providing to you is on our website at that link. The licensing statistics that I'm providing are typically for a fiscal year period. We're about 7 months into this new fiscal year, so you're getting about 7 months worth of statistics from July 1st, 2010 to January 31st, 2011. And these are compared to the same time frame in the fiscal years of 2008, 2009, and 2009, 2010. And I'm going to start with the amount of exams that we have administered. Again, remember, this is a 7-month period, a little over halfway through the fiscal year. So in salesperson's exams, we've administered 13,310. That is down 11% from last year, but up 18% from 2 years ago. Broker exams are at 5,147, down about 16% from last year, and down 23% from 2 years ago. And now people passing those exams, moving on to getting their license. Original licenses that have been issued. Salespersons, we've issued 7,599. That's down 2% and equally 2% from last year and 2 years ago. Broker licenses being issued, again covering a 7-month period, is about 3,804. It's down 10% from last year and down 15% from 2 years ago. On to renewals, those staying in the business. Salespersons, 32,094 people renewed. That's about 59% of those who are actually eligible to renew have renewed. That's down about 9% from last year and up 1% from 2 years ago. Broker renewals are at 16,351. It's about 75% of those eligible to renew are staying in the business. 2%, that's down 2% from last year, but up 10% from 2 years ago. And as of January 31st, the total licensed population is 147,241 brokers, 315,568 salespersons for a whopping total of 462,809 licensed real estate agents in the state of California. Now, that is down 7% from last year and down 13% from 2 years ago. Now, if you can recall, the high was back in November 2007. We were at roughly 550,000 licensees. And so from today, we are down about 16% from that high. Now, a new stat, new to our page, excited, we spent a lot of time on this, is the number of approved NMLS endorsements. These are mortgage loan originators, residential mortgage loan originators. And I have an updated stat from your page because it changes every single day. As of February 21st, we were at 23,363 of our 460,000 licensees are doing residential mortgage loan business. Now, for more information on additional DRE statistics like enforcement actions, subdivision filings, there is another page in your handout that's called Comparative Production Statistics. It's for the month of December of 2010 because January was not available yet when we produced this. Now I'm going to move on to the mission and vision. In 2010, the department produced a 5-year strategic plan. This strategic plan is the culmination of efforts of DRE's employees, supervisors, managers, and executive staff, resulting in the redefinition of the department as a modern regulatory entity. This process began with a complete redrafting of our vision and mission, along with adopting core values. Our vision is the champion for public protection in real estate. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to safeguard and promote the public interest in real estate matters through licensure, regulation, education, what we're all here for, and enforcement. DRE's workplace values include excellence, professionalism, knowledge, communication, and caring, not only about our employees, but about our licensed population, and including all of you. This strategic plan will guide the department's programs and employees to make certain that DRE maintains a workforce equal to the challenges created by a fluid and ever-changing marketplace, while ensuring that our mission is carried out to the fullest. Now, this strategic plan document is a 50-page document that is available on our website. And as a reminder to show our staff how important and how serious our new mission is, every employee carries around a pocket card with our mission, values, and our vision. And that brings me to another document that should really be laminated and in my back pocket, the new continuing education regulations. Yay! There's a handout in your packet on this with the full version of, I'm giving you the brief version. There have been several amendments made to the regulations affecting continuing education courses found in Article 25 of the Regulations of the Real Estate Commissioner in the Law Book. As a reminder, these amendments became effective January 1st, 2011. I'm going to highlight a few of the changes that are going to affect licensees seeking credit and providers seeking approval or renewal of their courses with the department. For the next 2 years, you have to show evidence that you are up to speed on these new regulations while you renew your courses. All courses are required shall require completion within 1 year from the registration date. Incremental assessments such as case studies, quizzes, or other forms of exercises are required after each chapter within a correspondence course. These are designed to measure a student's mastery of the course content, and remediation is to be provided to the student after each assessment has been completed. Here's some final exam rules. Final exams consisting of multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank type questions are limited to a maximum of 10% true, false questions. And I don't see Charlie Crackler in the room, so I'm sure he's loving this new regulation. Final exams with these types of questions are allowed a maximum of 1 minute per question. Questions used in final exams shall not duplicate any more than 10% of questions used in quizzes or other exams given during the course. And this is a big one that I know has been talked about, and we get phone calls from licensees kind of, what's happening? You can only retake a course's final once. If you fail the original exam, you can take a re-exam, but it must be different than the original exam. It must have different questions on it. A student who fails the re-exam has failed the course and receives no credit. They must now re-enroll and attempt completion. They can take the same course again, but they have to take the amount of hours it took for that course and take the exam again. They can't just turn around, sign up, take the exam for the third time. They actually have to learn from the course again of what they've missed from failing the exam twice. Again, the complete list of regulations, the amendments are in your packet. And you can find revised forms reflecting these amendments and additional forms relating to pre-licensed course approvals on our website. We have a new educators page. It's under the industry tab located at the top of DRE's website. and you select course provider under the quick links. If you didn't get all that down, come see me afterwards and I'll give you the link. Last but not least, new laws and proposed laws. I provided you with the winter 2010 real estate bulletin because it contains 2009, 2010 legislative bills signed under the Schwarzenegger administration that are of interest to DRE and its licensees. These are featured on page 6 and 7 of your bulletin. Now, the list includes Assembly Bills 1762, 2325, and Senate Bills 931, 1128, 1137, 1149, and 1427. And I chose not to read them all to you because the full extent of those bills are in the bulletin that are very interesting to read, especially one about short sales and judgment in there. That's a key one to read. Past and present real estate bulletins are available on the website, all containing great information. Another item on our website is a list of proposed regulation changes. These are in various stages of the approval process. Some are still available for public comment. Many of them right now have already had their public comment period and are going back to the legislative analyst's office. So there's 6 really quick that I'm going to run down. And I did bring a copy of the full text if anyone wants to take a look at it. But again, they're all the paper I brought is all online. There's a proposal on the use of nicknames in licensed real estate practice. This proposal is to allow specified use of nicknames by licensees who are natural persons, not aliens and not corporations, in the course of their license practice. And this stemmed from the fact that you now are required to have your license ID number on all documentation. So they're allowing some use of the first name that people have nicknames. There's a proposal having to do with the bar order that expands the responsibilities of supervising brokers to watch for debarred individuals when you're hiring unlicensed people. There's a list that's available on our website, and I believe this proposal is in a way going to require a broker to view that list on a regular basis. You hire lots of unlicensed assistants and secretary help, but debarred people are not allowed to do some of those activities. It's really good to, if you are a broker in the room, to come familiar with taking a look at this proposal. Again, it's not a full regulation yet, but it is in one of the final stages. Trust fund placements with financial institutions. This proposal was in response to a trend in the financial industry spurred by competition between institutions for placements of trust funds, large trust funds. Banks are giving incentives that benefit the broker and not the trust fund itself, such as tickets to a Chargers game or a Padres game. How is that benefiting the trust account? Inappropriate influence of real estate appraisers, and I'm sure Mr. Clark had something to do with this one. This proposal includes a non-exhaustive list of actions that are specifically deemed improper influence exercised by licensees, real estate licensees, towards licensed appraisers. There's a proposal on good standing and the continuing education exemption for senior licensees. It moves to expand the definition of good standing to allow for licensees who are renewing in their 2-year late grace period. It would consider them still in a good standing status towards their 30 years and 70 years old. And then the last one is statutory cleanup, crossing some T's and dotting some I's that need to be done. Again, full extent of these are on the website. I even have copies with me today if one of them sparked your interest. And in closing, I want to note that the 2011 Real Estate Law Book is available online right now. It should be in print in about a month. And a significant accomplishment for the department, 10 years in the making, is the new reference book. Yay! I have right here. we can work on something. It's available in hard copy now, and it is online. And to show our appreciation to the Real Estate Education Center so that they will have one on site in the city of San Francisco's Community College, we're presenting one to Carol Jensen. There you go.
Thank you.
I just wanted to.
But there's just one thing.
What?
Are you going to autograph it for me?
I can autograph it and maybe
right.
get Mr. Davy to autograph it later.
Well done. Thank you so much.
And now I just want to thank Carol and the Real Estate Education Center for inviting the department here. I'll take any questions. If you have a lot of questions, I'm going to be here through lunch, and we can discuss on the breaks that are a little more extensive than I may have to write down.
If I may. Before we take a question, please note we have a microphone for the questions so that our friends at home can hear the questions as well. Also, we have 2 comments from our friends in the internet space already. One of them is to make sure that Mr. Clark will clarify the AA and BA requirements for appraisal licensing when you speak with us, please. Also to point out that all the documents that are referred to today by our presenters are available at the Real Estate Education Center website under the conference link already today. So if you go to www.ccsf.edu/REEC, look at the conference tab. On the left-hand bar in yellow, you'll see a PDF copy of all the documents referred to today. So those of you at home can print it out and read along. Our first question, please.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi.
My name is Lance McCarg with Real Estate Trainers. I am asked 2 questions often from students. The first one is, when is the Department of Real Estate going to be changing the state exam again? And the second question is, when are the other locations going to be going to computer testing?
Good questions. We are in an exam study project currently. It's been going on about a year and a half. It took a little while to get started. You're required to have a certain amount of numbers of surveys on the industry. If we're going to be testing on what's the most current in the industry, it took a long time to get the required amount of people to complete surveys, even with a raffling of a dinner with a commissioner. It still took a long time. So we're still in the exam study project. Obviously, it's not best practices to roll out a brand new exam. So questions are tested. They will be filtering in through the process. So you're not going to be hit with, here is a brand new exam with questions students have never seen before and have no idea of. So we are in an exam study project right now. I can give you that. The second is I'll be back here in June or August or July, hopefully, with our electronic exam project in San Diego. Things are in negotiations right now. So the next location, first will be San Diego, and next will be Los Angeles. And then when Sacramento comes around, it will probably be the last location to go through. There might be a move involved. We're not sure yet, but that will be our final project. So it will be mid to late summer that we're anticipating to have the San Diego and Los Angeles office open. It's very exciting. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Please welcome Carmen Hersiog from the California Association of Realtors.
Thank you. Thank you, and good morning. It's nice to see you all again. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview about CAR, talk about some of the member benefits, and I will conclude with information on our scholarships. Now, I'm a little bit nervous about being on camera, so make sure you get my right side. That's my good side. I'll just stand like this. CAR was established in 1905, so it's been around for over 100 years. We finished 2010 with membership at right around 169,000. I'm waiting for the official figure. Now let's get into benefits, and we're gonna do a Letterman-style top 10 countdown because I don't have 8 hours to go over every single thing in detail. So here we go. Number 10 is our Forms Advisor, which is a feature in the ZipForm electronic forms software program, and it helps real estate agents using the software program determine which forms they'll need for their transaction. So once you set your students free out into the real estate world, this is kind of a neat tool that they can engage to help determine what forms they'll need for the transaction. Number 9, our Member Advantage program, which is our affinity program that offers discounts from various vendors on their products and services, of course, all real estate related, and those savings add up to over about $100. Number 8, Zip Vault. This is one of our newest benefits. Has anyone used it yet? Okay, then I'll tell you what it is. It's an electronic document storage program. So it allows you to store the forms, and they will also add the capability to store other documents, not just ZipForm forms. You'll be able to store your Word documents, PDF files, all sorts of other interesting documents. Keep it clean. Number 7 is Client Direct. This is a great way to keep in touch with clients. Oftentimes people neglect to do that. They close the transaction, they get their commission, and they're gone. Referrals are a huge part of your business, as I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you stress to your students that they need to keep in touch with their clients and get that referral business and build their client list. This is a great way to do that. It's an electronic newsletter that is customizable with the photo, contact info. It even allows you to preview listings and select from a variety of interesting articles to send. It's automatically distributed on a monthly basis once you set it up and import your client list. Number 6, our research reports. And Robert is going to give you the bad news about the economy this afternoon. If you want the details, the members have access to our reports, which we do sell to non-members, and they're valued at about $150. This includes research, extensive research on the housing market, consumer behavior, buyers and sellers. We provide that for our members. Number 5, our expo. This happens once a year, and members get to attend for free, lots of seminars, exhibitors. Non-members have to pay $250 to attend that. Also a lot of networking opportunities. Number 4, our legal hotline. Members get to call an attorney as many times as they need to throughout the year. All they need is their member ID number. So attorneys charge quite a bit. I just used a ballpark $250 an hour starting. I'm sure the majority charge upwards of that nowadays. Uh-oh. Number 3, one of our newest benefits, effective January of this year, digital ink electronic signatures. Now forms, the software forms through ZipForms can be signed electronically through this feature. And members are now able to provide this service to their clients. And number 2 is, of course, the ZipForms software. We charge non-members $599 a year for this. This is included in membership dues. And this gives you access to all the real estate forms that you want and maybe don't want because they're very long. And number 1, drum roll please. We have our lobbying efforts. We have a lobbying staff in Sacramento who works diligently to protect your business, and I actually had a gentleman before the conference started talk to me about an issue that he's concerned about. So this is what our lobbyists do at the direction of our members, and there are frequent point of sale attacks from your legislators on real estate transactions. Our staff works hard to protect the business from those higher taxes and fees and what have you. But not only do you get representation at the state level, but also at the local and national levels as a Realtor member. And this brings the grand total of membership value at over $13,000. All this wonderful information is also on our website. There's the homepage. And you also have the Car Bible, this black booklet, which details everything I just mentioned and a whole lot more. Now, let's talk about scholarships. I left some of these blue brochures on your tables. Please share them with your students. We have scholarships to give away. I hope that's business. So the award amounts are $2,000 for community college level and $4,000 for university. The eligibility requirements are quite minimal, in my opinion. I think 2.6 GPA is very manageable. They must complete at least 12 units, and they must demonstrate that they're on a real estate study track. They intend to pursue real estate in their degree and incorporate it somehow. And I will conclude with any questions since we're running a little bit behind schedule. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not a realtor, broker, I'm an appraiser. I do have interest in market reports,
Okay.
and they won't let me join like as an affiliate or something just to get that access. Is there a way with that?
Before you answer.
Oh, I believe they want you to repeat your question at the
I'm
microphone.
an appraiser, not a realtor, a licensee, but I have interest in market reports. Is there a way to create something like an affiliate member like we have for appraisers with the MLS that we could get access to market research reports?
Technically, according to our bylaws, appraisers can join as realtor members. You just have to be licensed. So you can join as an appraiser.
As a license, because I went to one of my local boards in the South Bay, and they told me talk to Carr, and it was never resolved.
Oh, okay. Well, give me your card at the
Okay.
break, and I'll take it back to the office.
Thanks.
Yes, sir?
Yeah, Carmen, as you know, Carr used to publish all the forms on a CD and in a hardcover book, but they stopped sample forms. Are they going to consider doing that again?
They still have the sample forms. You can print them from the software.
Okay.
I've seen it. I've logged in, and when you try to print something, it'll have the ink mark that says sample.
But I don't want to really print them, just bring a CD to class and pop it in the hard drive and just...
They're not producing CDs anymore, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably print them into a PDF file and burn them on a CD yourself or on a flash drive.
All right. Mary Ellen is next.
Hi, I was wondering, I always love taking my students to the Realtor Expo. I was wondering if the students will be able to get a discount again this year?
I can take that feedback back. I don't make that decision, but I'd be happy to take it back to our Expo committee. Yep. Did I?
Another question from the
Oh.
internet?
Okay, a question from the internet. You got my right side? Is there a,
Special student?
special membership available for students? And the answer is yes, there is. There's a discounted membership available for students. And here's my contact information, since I can't get yours. Send me an email, and I'd be happy to share information about student membership with you. Are there any other questions? Thank you very much. Enjoy the conference.